Assalamualaikum and welcome to UCP TV. I'm Dr. Sundas Mustaqim, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Media and Mass Communication, University of Central Punjab, and independent journalist. We are here to present a special program with delegates from UK. Yes, we have a special delegation from UK, University of Central Lancashire, through Pakistan UK Education Gateway Mobility Grant Program funded by British Council of Pakistan, and we will discuss something about their experience. Hello, Assalamualaikum. Welcome to our studio. Welcome to UCP TV. We warmly welcome you in our studio in UCP TV. And now we have Dr. Mahmood Chandia, and then we have Christopher, the student from the University of Lancashire, and then we have Abubakar Saleem, another student from University of Lancashire. So we are going to discuss something about their experience and about the education system in Pakistan and in UCP in particular. So first of all, in the light of your experience so far, how do you see Pakistan as a study destination for international students?
That's a very interesting question to commence with. If I was to take this studio and my contact and collaboration with the media school as a pilot exercise of trying to provide the evidence base to entertain the idea of coming to Pakistan for higher education. The approach that I am observing as an educationalist is an approach of engaging learning with industry. This is what we would call applied learning. So even in the media industry, where you have a laboratory where you would train students to understand the dynamics of producing a program, whatever that program may well be, which is supplemented and complemented with theoretical learning in the classroom. So where you have a combination of theory plus practice equals applied learning and engaging with industry, that is a successful formula of learning. And this is where higher education should be going, and where you have high-ranking universities across the globe, you do have this model in place. If that is the evidence base we can consider, based on my personal observations as an educationalist, then Pakistan has a lot to offer for the higher education aspirational student who wishes to come to Pakistan and study here. Further, it is equally important to understand Pakistan as a strategic location, not just for its culinary values and quality, but equally for geopolitical issues. Pakistan is very centrally located, and one can acquire an informed, critically informed understanding based on your stay as a student in the country.
The student exchange program, so that they want both the students of both the countries to share their values, to see each other culture and the study in particular. So my next question is, I would like to ask a question from Abubakar Saab first. Mr. Abubakar, would you like to shed some light on your learning and teaching experience in UCP so far as compared to UK, if you have to do this comparison?
Sure. It's quite interesting actually. And I've mentioned this before as well, that myself being born in Pakistan, I've never actually seen the academic side, and so experiencing it for the first time, having been into a British university. There are some differences, however, I feel that some of these differences mainly are within the lecturers themselves. Within the UK, what we have is we have a very student-centric approach, in the sense that the students are at the center of every lecture, of every presentation, and every assignment in essence. And so when it comes to our lectures, there's a lot more discussions, there's a lot more conversations with the students in regards to what the students feel, what they think about a specific topic that's being taught at the time. And that's kind of the approach throughout the education system within the UK. What I've seen over the last couple of days is the teaching system within Pakistan is slightly different to that, in the sense that it's more teacher-centric, and it seems the teacher comes in, the lecturer comes in, and it's kind of giving that information in terms of information-wise, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well informed in terms of the the information you're receiving quite intense, and the lecture as well, 2-3 hours, very sometimes quite lengthy. But I think that's the main difference that I see within the two systems, is one being more student-centric, the other one being more teacher-centric. And yeah, that's been my observation. As it's only over the last couple of days, so over the next few days we'll see a bit more and get a better understanding.
Yeah, you have yet to explore a bit more. Thank you so very much. So according to Mr. Abubakar, the education culture in UK is more student-centric, and in Pakistan it's more teacher-centric. So Christopher, as a student, I would like you to tell me 3 takeaways if you have to bring back to your country from education system of Lahore and in Pakistan and in UCP in particular. What are the 3 takeaways that you'll bring back to your country?
Well, in the UK we talk a lot about the student experience of going somewhere, and when a student decides where they want to go to university, it's a very calculated decision. So it's based on a lot of factors, not just the educational attainments of the place, it's the things that they're going to learn culturally, the people they're going to meet, the opportunities they're going to get. And I think Lahore, my experience in Lahore is that this is a city with incredible amount of talent. You know, there's so much opportunity here. You know, and it's in the future this city is going to grow, and the people we've met are incredibly talented. So in terms of the things I would take away from here is you need to continue to focus on the talent that you've got here. You need to develop the base. You need to really strive to ensure that every student understands their talents and how to utilise them, and how to exchange those skills in the real world for business. Also, to sell Lahore. Lahore's an incredible cultural experience. You've got the most incredible food, you've got the most incredible scenery, the most incredible places to visit. So to package that into a student's experience and to offer that to the world, students from the world will want to come to Lahore. You've got to market that. And then finally, it's the academic. We've seen since being here, you've got the most extraordinary academic staff. We've had the most fantastic lectures, which, you know, you didn't know us, we didn't know you, but you've delivered them, and that standard is really, really high. To sell that standard with the talent that you've got here and the experience of being here, that is what in the round students from my country would be looking for anyway.
Well, thank you so very much. You appreciated, you highlighted some, like I would say the motivated points. But what do you think, where we lack actually? As you said, we have so much of talent in this city, in this one particular city in Lahore, and we have this passion and talent and everything, and education and culture, and almost in every sector. So what do you think is, from the neutral lens, where we lack actually, and where we need to improve actually?
Oh, it's to recognise that talent, you know. And I think I've seen since I've been here that you've got an amazing programme for relating the working world and what you're trying to do. So the vocational experience, the vocational links to industry are incredible. But your students also need to be in the world. They need to be all over the world, selling Pakistan to the world, because you need to change the narrative sometimes. Yeah. And by having people from here in Australia, in America, in Europe, and you can tell them about
So we need to be more vocal.
You need to be more in the world and more vocal, and then people will come here. It's just a natural response to that.
So people should come here, and we should be more vocal, and we should visit the rest of the country. So to tell the people that we are not as we were supposed to be, we are highlighted, or we are being portrayed in the rest of the world. We are not as an extremist state. We are like very easy-go-lucky people. Okay, so thank you so very much. We'll definitely come towards the dress and food part as well. But now I would like Mr. Mahmood Chandia. Can you please shed some light on this, as Mr. Abubakar has highlighted, the student-centric and the teacher-centric comparison between both the countries, education level, please.
There are different models how one can conduct a session with students. There is a space to have formal learning, which we would call a lecture. But that formal learning, the experience in the literature within higher education, United Kingdom, would suggest that how does one enrich the student experience, with the overall aim of any program to take the student on a journey where the beginning point is dependent learning and to take towards independent learning. And independent learning is qualified by developing the cognitive ability to undertake independently, critically verified research. Okay. So the training for the student right from day one is towards that end. So any program will need to have learning outcomes, program aims, what are the transferable skills that are developed within the student, as I have witnessed in the Media Lab here, the transferable skills that they will take with them. To give you an example, it is not just the skill of...
It's like a laboratory for the students.
That is a good word to use.
Yeah.
It's to develop the skills, not just to write your thoughts in a logical, coherent manner, develop an argument that is neutral.
Practical platform.
That's neutral, that's balanced, that is informed, that takes into consideration other people's writings and other writers who may well disagree with the formal narrative of the subject. Alongside that, skills such as how to present orally, to present something.
Yeah,
because a lot of people will be in an opportunity to group lead, present their ideas, have their ideas disagreed, challenged, and have the ability to explain your position and to work as a team. So we see this as a learning package to prepare the individual for the real world. And as part of that journey, it's student-centered. Student-centered, there's an educationalist by the name of Paulo Freire, Brazilian, lovely man. His vision of education is available on YouTube. But his vision was, why should I teach a group of individuals, adults he was focusing on, who are poor and all the curriculum means nothing in their daily lives? Excuse me, what he did was contextualize the learning process. And he was against the model where a lecturer comes in, may well be the best professor of that subject, comes into the classroom, deposits the learning that person has, and then goes away. This is what is called the banking model. Just like one would go to the bank, deposit your monies, and then go away. So the lecturer comes to the class, dumps or deposits the learning, and the student takes the notes. Sometimes is apprehensive, scared to ask a question, challenge the lecturer, tutor. That model is seen as not student enriching experience, not developing the independent skills. Rather, it's the lecturer and the student who learn together. And that is the process that my co-panelist was referring to, where you discuss, where you debate, you entertain dissenting views at times, authors that may well be challenging the mainstream views, so that you come to a learning together and you develop the student independence. So that's why we normally would have an independent research work, and that is developing the critical thinking, critical thought, etc. And the students who are here, they will be tasked to report, discuss, present their views, considered balanced views about their experiences in Pakistan, besides the food, when they go back. What are the educational outcomes on a trip such as this? So that we can better that the next time. So that's the student approach, and that is the non-student.
Structure of educational, how they teach actually.
Yes, how they teach is in higher education.
Yeah.
Of course, there is room for learning to be passed on from a very young age in a different format. There will be, in the UK as well, sessions which will be lecture orientated, because you have to build up the knowledge base first. Once you build up the knowledge base, you guide the students what to read, and you allow the student to deliver seminars themselves, just as here they are delivering programs, and you discuss. So the focus here is intellectual cognitive development.
Okay, very nice. So I think the conclusion is, if there will be a mixed method approach that combines both theory and practical, that would be the best approach for the students and both for the teachers. If there will be theory and practice both at the same time, and the student, there would be no word for student-centric or teacher-centric, but this will be a conversation. Like, learning is a two-way process, and we learn from students and students learn from us. So I think the discussion base where we can, I would say, we can motivate students to ask questions and to do discussions, and that would be the best approach. So either it's UK or Pakistan, this mixed method approach would be the best and ideal approach. Now I would like to ask Mr. Muhammad Abubakar Saleem, so what message would you like to give to Pakistani students who want to go to UK in particular and abroad in UK in particular to study ahead? So if there is any particular message, or what are the things they should bring to UK if they're visiting for the very first time to study ahead?
I've never been a student studying abroad before.
But your origin is from Pakistan. You're originally from Pakistan.
Yes, but I was brought up in the UK. I think one of the things is that, and it was quite well said by Dr. Mahmood and Christopher actually as well, is understanding where you want to be and why you're coming to the UK to study. What is the vision? And ensuring that your vision of the future is clear before making that move.
Exactly.
And understanding whether that is what you absolutely need. And understanding your intention, your progress, your vision of the future, then taking that step of studying abroad. Otherwise, in Pakistan, you have brilliant universities. University of Central Punjab has said the information here is absolutely brilliant. Lecturers are brilliant. And so his understanding is what is the need of going there. And when you do come to the UK, is trying to absorb the culture there as well, as we're here absorbing the culture in Pakistan, and understanding how the Pakistani society works, and understanding in the UK as well, and leaving a positive experience for the residents in the UK, and engaging with them, understanding their viewpoint of the world, and challenging it at times as well, and at the same time is not to forget your own identity of being a Pakistani, and not thinking that the only method is the Western method. There are various methods across the globe, and so being proud of that identity where they come from, being Pakistan, and being proud of their background. And not feeling insecure of who they are. That would be my main message, is don't forget where you're from, and be proud of that. It doesn't matter where you're studying.
Now I would like to ask certain entertaining questions regarding the food and the culture from Christopher. So Christopher already know that I'm going to ask this question from him. First of all, Christopher, you are looking nice in this national attire of Pakistan. So how did you find not only the dress, as you just said, the food, you talk about the food, this overall, the culture, because you're a student of cultural studies. So how do we compare the culture of UK and Pakistan, and the food and the people and everything? Just we want you to have a glance on all these.
A comparison. Well, I think you've got the most extraordinary, culture in Pakistan, and that's developed from many millennia. So you get a feel for the depth of the culture. So in the UK as well, you'll understand when a student comes to the UK, we have got rich traditions in the UK, which your students, when you get there, you'll find that some of those things are uncomfortable to start with, because Western culture has a focus on things that in the East, so we have some vices as well. And if a student comes to the UK from Pakistan, they need to find a confluence to share what they have with us and what we've got with them, and never be scared to challenge. In the UK, we have this way of interacting with each other where we'll challenge each other quite freely about the things that we believe, and we'll talk openly about things. But in terms of the culture, the culture's incredible in Pakistan, and we've been so lucky in our history in Britain that we've got many thousands of Pakistanis and people from other regions as well, and we've got a melting pot of culture in the UK. So we've got people from Italy, Spain, Pakistan, the Netherlands, all over the world, and we've got every cuisine. So when a student comes to the UK, they will be thriving in that experience.
Christopher, would you like to tell this word about the religious diversity of Pakistan?
Yeah. So we've been here for 4 or 5 days now. We've been to a cathedral. We've seen the Christian community. We've seen the Sikh community. We've met Muslims of all sects. Yeah, we've had to talk to them as well. We've been to a Sufi shrine. We've seen the real life experience of the people there. So the religion and cultural experience in Pakistan is second to none. I've been to a couple of countries around the world and seen. And
so is it the same Pakistan you have been reading in books, or is it?
It's not the same Pakistan I've been reading in books.
That's the point.
When I came here, I came with lots of preconceptions, and they were delivered to me by the media in the West, which unfortunately has been led by certain things.
So the portrayal
recently.
of Pakistan in Western media or in Western books as well is different from realities.
Yes, it certainly is. Yeah, and I think we've got so few people from the West who've actually been to Pakistan to give us that insight that we need. So we need students to come both directions to share that experience and learn from each other, because I can go home and I can tell my friends about this Pakistan I've seen.
So what message would you like to give to Western media and Western academicians about the Pakistan?
It needs a reassessment, because there's the things that we've been told are true are not true. The things that some elements of the Western media want us to believe are true, and sometimes that's because they're trying to protect themselves. Sometimes it's because they need an antagonist in the world, and they just look for somebody, and they look at certain regions. It's not that way. My experience, I've been here, as a Western man, for 5 days.
It's different and better than what you have been reading.
I've met nothing but friendliness from the people. I've met nothing but wanting to share, hospitality beyond compare. Everybody's wanted to share their culture and values with me, and they've also wanted to know about me as well. So they've wanted to chat and know about my world.
Well, thank you so very much. So the Western media and Western academicians need to do this reassessment, and need to watch this country, need to see this country from different perspective. You need to change your perspectives about the Pakistan. We are not terrorists, we are not extremists, we are friendly, we are culturally rich, and our education system is as better as many other countries in the world. So the program is heading towards the last phase. So now at the end, I would like to ask different messages you three want to give to not only to the about the education, about the culture, but overall about your personal experience being here. So from the University of Central Lancashire to University of Central Punjab, Dr. Mahmood, Chandia, what message would you like to give at the end of the program?
Well, the common word for the University of Central Punjab and the University of Central Lancashire is the word central.
Central. Okay, nice.
And the key components that I see at the University of Central Lancashire, which we abbreviate to UCLan, and University of Central Punjab, which is conveniently abbreviated to UCP, I believe that the vision of this project is the evidence base to what message can be delivered. And the vision of this project and the key stakeholders of this project have a vision. And this project is one step on a journey. And that is an important step. It's a strategic step. But there is a vision behind that step, that where do we want to go with this?
Makes sense.
And I have been collaborating with colleagues at the University of Central Punjab, Brother Sikandar, Dr. Fuad, and I've been listening attentively to the presentations and observing at site visits. That is the package of learning. Are the meetings heading in the right direction that is able to achieve and meet that vision. And it's very impressive actually to note that actually it is heading in the right direction, and the plan and the vision is open to be critically informed at different stages. And for, as a sign of maturity of the UCP, and there may well be other universities across Pakistan who are doing equally, if not a better job, a sign of maturity is to be open to critical feedback, entertaining guests from outside, giving them the platform to voice their observations, their concerns, their views, and take that feedback back, and be open to have your students go to a different culture, different climate, and learn from there and bring back. That is a sign of a mature civilization. And that is a view, or the vision, that is underpinned of a Pakistan that wishes to change itself and its orientation for the future. So this, if it can be seen as a laboratory or a macro project, where are we heading? So I think this project and the individuals that I've been happy to collaborate and been very honored to collaborate with is good testimony to that.
Okay, so luckily we have almost achieved at this stage where we can have this exchange program, thanks to the Higher Education Commission and British Council of Pakistan for to take initiative regarding this program. Now I would like Mr. Christopher to give a final message.
The amount of talent, the amount of warm hospitality, the amount of kind feeling from the Pakistani people, don't change that. That in so many parts of the world,
we are not going to change that. It's
so
just we need to change.
So many parts of the world, people are losing those values,
Yeah.
and the richness that you've got here is that you're so rooted in your values, and you're so welcome and you're so hospitable. Never change that, because the rest of the world will be looking for leadership in the future, and we'll be looking for model leadership and the values of the past, which are in some areas, in particular my country as well, we're sometimes losing our direction with things like that. So I like to,
thank you. We are not, the Indo-Pak subcontinent is one of the oldest civilization of this whole in this world, and we are not changing. But it's West who need to change their perspective when it comes to Pakistan and when it comes to this region. So now I would like Mr. Mahmood Abubakar Saleem to give final message to the students and regarding your experience so far to our audience.
As I said earlier, despite being born in the country, there's a lot of potential in this country, and I think we saw that over the lectures as well, over my experience in my previous visits, just visiting family, and I think as students is understanding what your potential is, and really working on that, and making sure that you don't let that go to waste. That's the biggest fear that we have for students, is when they themselves don't realize their potential and brilliant minds go to waste. And so what my message would be to students is understand your potential, and the lecturers as well, is give those words of encouragement to the students, and also keep a broad mind. And some bit similar to what Dr. Mahmood said as well, was explore the world and bring back the good, and bring that back within your countries. And the more you explore, the more your vision will be broadened, and the more you'll understand, and the more accommodating you will be. So those are just a couple of things that I'll say is understand your potential. If you can travel the world, keep an open mind, and honestly, you students can make this country a brilliant place to visit for every person.
Well, thank you so very much. Learn and explore. This whole world is for you to explore. Thank you so very much, our respected guests, Dr. Mahmood Chandia and Muhammad Abubakar Saleem and Christopher. Thanks to all of you guys for this wonderful program and information you have just shared with us. This program was brought to you by UCP TV, and this program PAK-UK Education Gateway Mobility Grant Program funded by British Council Pakistan and Higher Education Commission of Pakistan. University of Lancashire, we had guests with us, the University of Lancashire. Thank you so very much, guys, for joining us in our program and our studios for productive, thought-provoking information. This is me, Dr. Sundar Mustaqim, signing off from UCB TV. Hope you enjoyed the program. See you next time. Take care. Love you all. Bye.